This is Michael Kowalski, writer and performer of Mothman, True Story, and you are listening to the Unbelievers Podcast. I know you wouldn't like it.
There were several groups. One of the principal ones was the reptilians from the Orion complex.
Without any exaggeration, it was like being on fire inside.
Rats were eating you inside.
This stuff was in my mouth. It felt like it was 500 degrees. It was unbelievably hot.
My first question would be, were you a member of the Church of Satan, a card-carrying member of the Church of Satan?
I don't understand.
There's always an argument for everything, you know? Just because somebody can fake something doesn't necessarily mean it's
and we found a life form. And that's when I started shitting my pants.
So for the person who called, I am carrying an alien.
An alien baby. We covered right here, okay?
Okay.
Something is happening. What is it? That's the question. So do UFOs exist? It depends on what you mean exist.
The United States has many areas that are notorious for being paranormal hotspots. The Bridgewater Triangle in Massachusetts, Point Pleasant, West Virginia, the state of Florida. These havens of high strangeness are the stomping grounds for mysterious phenomena such as the Pukwudgie, Mothman, skunk apes, and a myriad of unidentified flying objects. But there is another sanctuary of the strange that we must unlearn. Tonight, the Unbelievers Podcast returns to one of the fiercest and most jacked up cryptids of all time as we discuss a peculiar area in Kentucky that is home to generations of two-legged terrors feasting on unsuspecting campers. So join us now as we delve into the story of what may or may not be a loup-garou or a werewolf or possibly a dogman and discuss a brand new documentary that chronicles this horror in precise detail. He's hairy, he's scary, it's the Beast of LBL. Right here on the program, where you continue to learn to unlearn everything you know! Hello and welcome to the Unbelievers Podcast. I'm your host, Rus Ryan, and joining me tonight is my co-host, Drea Mora. Hello, Drea.
Hey, what's up?
And our soundboard engineer and producer, Rob Okey.
Oh, this place is giving you the damn creeps, huh? Why don't you cut out your whining, all right?
What's up, guys?
Whoa. Yeah, so how's everyone doing tonight? It's good to come off that fun episode with Phoebe and Kevin and Sebastian and getting through a short week, but we're getting back on time, back on schedule with this. I'm excited.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how we're going to top that last episode. We really should just quit while we're ahead, but
no,
I'm excited.
We should. Yeah. Oh, we're going way down with this one.
I know. And we celebrated so hard last time for 69. This is actually our 70th episode, which most people I think would celebrate like 70. But we were like 69. Yeah, 69 is the one.
Yeah,
69 forever.
That. And just wanna put it out there that we have also made offers to be on some specific podcast networks. We have turned down that money. We will stay independent. Everywhere you catch your podcast, you'll catch us. We'll always be there. It's not about the money, not the t-shirt money at least.
No. And it was very tempting, the amount of money they were offering us, but that's the sacrifice we're willing to make for you guys.
Yeah, and while you might as well join the Patreon while we're talking about it. I'm just, it just reminds me, you might as well join the Patreon. That's all.
You and his Patreon, always with the Patreon. Enough. Because we got an important subject tonight. Let's get into it now. We're talking about the Beast of LBL.
Summer morning in early June.
Wow, it's back. You know what that music, music can only mean one thing. Tonight we're going to be discussing a very terrifying cryptid from the state of Kentucky, the Beast of LBL. Not LBC,
no.
But both are canine adjacent. LBL stands for the Land Between the Lakes area of Western Kentucky. This area has over 170,000 acres of forest and wetlands and sits between the Kentucky and Barkley Lakes. While it is a national recreation area known for camping, hiking, hunting, and fishing, it is also well known for being infested with Dogman.
Infested.
These Dogman-infested woods, there's a few of them, and this is one of the bigger ones. And this is called the LBL, the land between the lakes. I do always get the image of that, the land of lakes butter. I want to see like a...
It does kind of, yeah. It sounds like Land of Lakes butter.
if they're gonna take the spokeswoman off of the Land of Lakes butter, maybe stick the Dogman on there. Call Land Between Lakes.
The Dogman has no race. It could be anybody.
Or any promotional deals, as far as I can tell. So, for tonight's discussion, we watched an independent documentary called The Bloodthirsty Beast of LBL, documentary, Nightmare Nuggets of Cryptid Terror. And man,
Nightmare Nuggets. Everything making me hungry now.
I love these Nightmare Nuggets. This is a documentary made by the Cryptid Studies Institute. It's only a couple weeks old, too. It has a lot of views. And this is hosted by a man named Host. No, it is hosted by a man named Elijah Henderson. And I will say, I really like this. I think this thing put a lot of other documentaries, big budget documentaries. This is not a big budget documentary. I think it put a lot of these big ones to shame. This is a well done, independent documentary. Elijah, come on the show.
Is it really though?
I mean, because
awesome.
It was well researched. I'll say that. And I really like the way that he backs up all of his statements and he doesn't make any wild claims. I appreciated that part.
I will say you could tell it was done on a budget, and he got the most out of his budget. He got the most out of that torch, that tiki torch. I think I saw it about 15 times.
Those drawings. He definitely didn't spend any money on the drawings.
Oh my God.
First off, the drawings, we'll get into it, but the drawings are awesome. And he put his mind into this, not his wallet. He researches, he's researched, and we'll see. So let's just get into it now. Let's get into this bloodthirsty beast of LBL, Nightmare Nuggets of Cryptid Terror. He starts off with the myth and the folklore of the region, which is always good to hear. Let's hear.
Lore and legends for this area go all the way back to the 1700s, when French trappers and hunters were plying their trades across the region that is today known as Kentucky. These brave and adventure-hardened pathfinders declared and insisted that the forests and lands were inhabited by creatures that some refer to as loups-garoux or wolfmen, terrifying beasts that appeared to be half-caste amalgamations of men and wolves. The beasts were said to howl their blood-curdling dark songs into the night, and leave mangled and mutilated animals and livestock scattered about, and to cause general mayhem by frightening local residents.
See, he's talking about loups-garoux, and it seems like wherever these French settlers land, the loup-garou always follows. There's Louisiana, we've heard it in Canada, now in Kentucky, in the LBL.
So we can say that we blame the French.
Oh, for loup-garou.
That's loup-garou, all right.
For all of them,
Google
sure.
The loup-garou.
He definitely did, because he knows his stuff coming out of the bat, giving us all the information we need. Yeah. And that's something he has to get out of the way, and he loves it. He loves the mist and the legend and the folklore. That's one thing.
Oh, that mist.
What's going on with these monsters in the LBL today?
Whatever the truth may be, many people today still fear the beasts, which are still reportedly seen to this day. Witnesses have attested that they have seen the mysterious monsters in their forest abodes. One even claims he saw what appeared to be a female crossing the roadway with a litter of pups. Others still claim to have been assailed, stalked, and even chased by these fearsome monstrosities along the main thoroughfares, along waterways while camping, and even while visiting the infamous Hotel California.
Well, Hotel California, we're going to get into that later, but he's talking about, this is going on now. This area, the LBL, it is stupid with Dogman. There is, for going back hundreds of years to French settlers, and now there's a litter of Dogman. That's cute.
Amounts of Dogman.
Just like they described in folklore.
Exactly.
And yeah, I do want to talk about the drawings at this particular point, because I loved how the little pups were basically just the giant version and just like shrunk down, like just like scaled down and trailing behind it.
I love that too.
Cute.
So he's
I'll put that up
born.
on the Instagram.
He's born a Dogman. Like even when Dogman is born, he's just jacked, coming right out of the womb.
Yeah. Oh, all the proportions are there. They're just smaller.
Just a little.
Just a tiny version, of course. And he's got some more about this folklore of the LBL. This clip is also, I want to say, you've heard it so far. this guy does a great job writing this thing. He's very descriptive. He pulls some deep cut words, but here's a great example of the dynamite writing that is put into this documentary.
Land Between the Lakes has no shortages of creature sightings, and whatever the truth may be, the place is mysterious at best, and certain elements of the local lore and legends have a striking similitude to the 1977 horror masterpiece book that spawned the immortal classic movie, and in my humble opinion, best werewolf movie of all time, The Howling.
He does a great writing style, right? Striking similitude. He's putting some words in there you don't hear all these.
It's mysterious at best. I don't think that's not doing it justice.
Mysterious at best.
And he relates it to that he compares this area to the movie The Howling, which is about a town where everyone is a werewolf. And it is a very good Wolfman movie. One of the best. Look, that guy went on a limb saying it's the best. That's the hardest stance on anything he will take in this. I will say that.
I'm going to keep all my notes about his writing style till the end. It's just too much to get into.
I want to watch this.
It's fine.
I want to watch this movie. I've never heard of The Howling, and I feel like I should have. Have you
I've
guys
never
watched
heard of
this
it.
before?
Of course. I love The Howling. Really, really great.
Should we do a movie night
werewolf
and watch
movie.
The Howling one of these nights? I feel like that would be kind of fun.
Sounds good. I bet you we could get him on for that. Oh, he's commentated. Perfect. All right, we'll set it up. Elijah, give us a call. But this investigation he does, this documentary, the reason I love it is so thorough. Here are some claims by locals regarding the disappearances of people who are visiting the LBL.
The individuals interviewed have laid claim that more than a few have seemingly just vanished from hotels in the region. Is it true? I can't hazard a guess, but that is what we have been told as truth. Other supposed truths that we have been told is that a part of the neighboring communities share the belief that one of the local families in the area is actually a family that has the ability to transform into werewolves and have roamed these woodlands for decades after the curse was brought to these lands by a European settler who settled there in the 1800s.
So it is accepted that there is werewolf descendant families that still inhabit this area. Just like that is a lot like The Howling.
I guess so. I mean, I haven't seen The Howling, so I can't hazard a guess. But if that's what I'm being told,
you can't hazard a guess. Neither can he. This guy's rubbing off on all of us. We don't want to guess about anything anymore.
I thought when he said it was inspired by it, he just meant like loosely inspired. But he means it was literally inspired by it. Like these people are actually
based
all
on
werewolves.
a true story.
Yeah,
I guess so. I mean,
maybe.
I've never been
Maybe
there.
they got a writing credit, and that's how they keep their like little werewolf town going. They got all that sweet Howling cash coming in. But there's many theories surrounding this mysterious creature, and our host, the real host, Elijah Henderson, he's going to list off a few of those for us.
The supposed family of afflicted lycanthropes still roam the area and now use the LBL National Recreation Area as their private hunting grounds. We do not hold to this belief, but some do, and they do not speak of it above a whisper, if they speak of it at all. Others still maintain that the ferocious creature is a skinwalker, or the ghost of a skinwalker who was once a Shawnee medicine man that dabbled heavily into the dark arts and became so evil that he was tracked down and killed by the members of his own tribe. Again, we do not share this belief either. We currently share the opinion that the beast is a flesh and blood cryptid creature known as a Dogman.
Yeah, see, he respects other people's opinions, but he doesn't necessarily believe them. To him, this is a Dogman.
Which is fun. And that's the thing, like I said, that's what I like about this guy is that he's very well researched, very well read, and he'll put out other people's opinions and then say, no, we don't know or whatever, but we're going to give everyone their thing. Can I just get one note out of the way?
Sure.
One, it sounds like he's giving like a report in a high school, like a presentation on something that you just don't really want to hear about, and he goes off and on and on. That, and it's like dabbles heavily into. Isn't dabbling when you're lightly into something?
Yeah, his way.
That's
of like
a little
writing...
middle of the road. A lot of stuff he does, he wants to stay a little middle of the road. So dabbling heavily is what he's doing in Dogman. He's dabbling, but he's doing it in a heavy way because he's into it, but he's not taking. The only hard stance is the Howling rules. And other than that, you may believe this, you may believe this. I believe this, but it's okay that I do.
Yeah,
he's not going hard on people like some
take
shows.
On stuff. Yeah, I like his analysis on things.
You know who he reminds me of? He reminds me of the guy who's in those YouTube videos where it's like weird satanic guy talks about Baphomet statue, and he always says, I don't know.
I love that. Yeah, he's totally a character though.
Yeah, that's one of Andrew Bowser's characters. But he just the way this guy talks, he reminds me of him. His use of adjectives and adverbs and stuff is.
I just want to give him some notes and be like, loosen up, just speak it, more genuinely. Don't read it off a piece of paper.
Look, I'll reach out. Hey, man, you write it because I love your word. I'll narrate one of your things. Give me a nightmare nugget. Give me Russ's nuggets. I'll do it. It'll be awesome.
Going from walnuts to rods to nuggets. My God.
I'll take it. So he's saying that this is 100% positively that mean old Dogman. That's the final word?
No.
However, we're not so arrogant to say that what we believe is the final word on the subject, as there are no experts in this field, and we certainly are not. And for what it is worth, we will follow the evidence wherever it leads, even if it leads in a direction that challenges our own long-held paradigms, and we will follow any lead to its conclusion, no matter how fantastical it may be. And we will not hoard information, but rather share it freely, unless it may cause others harm.
He is so careful with his words. There are so many caveats, man. Did this dude say something once and get in trouble almost?
Yeah. Man, you have to be careful about everything you say, which is why I'm terrified of doing this podcast every week.
Yeah, I want to learn from this dude. I need everything I say. I know it's probably going to alienate people with my hard stances on monsters and such, but I just got to be more like him.
It does seem like he's trying to reach a character count again. Like he needs to reach a certain amount of words for this.
It's very flowery. And if I were an English teacher grading his paper, I would give him an A. I would, because he's clearly trying, and he uses nice words.
He's really on the dean's list for me, man. He rules. I don't know. I would never go. I love him. So let's hear more. So now we have the history. We got the myth. We got the folklore, and we got all the theories. Let's get into what this Dogman is actually getting up to in the land between the lakes.
The Beast of LBL rose to the highest echelons of infamy when reports surfaced that claimed that the Beast is responsible for the horrific mutilation and murder of a family of 4 some years ago, and has been linked, at least through the rumor mill, and at least one now deceased eyewitness, to at least 7 and possibly 9 deaths or mysterious disappearances in the land between the lakes area. However, today, we will focus our attention on the most prevailing, undying accusation of them all, the nefarious RV massacre.
Yeah, so this Dogman is a murderer, and he did say least a lot in there, though. That's a note. And we are going to talk about this most controversial case. This is what the Dogman is most feared for in this LBL. It is this RV family murder. That is what this video is all about. Is a family
hates RVs.
Dogman hates them. He hates vehicles already, but he really hates this RV.
He hates glamping, too. It's like he just wants you to be rugged and go for it. Live off the land like I do.
Well, there must be some records of this, I'm guessing, right, Russ?
Oh, well, let's see. So I mentioned that Elijah, he is very smart to caveat a lot of the claims made in his video. And before we even get into this RV attack, we're going to get a big old caveat.
Before getting underway, I have to admit that to this day, I know of no one who has been able to provide one shred of documented proof, newspaper, or news report to validate the incident actually took place. However, many people over the years have come forth claiming either to have been on location while the bodies and the crime scene were being processed, or had family or friends on location, or had heard the story firsthand from those directly involved in the alleged investigation. Having said that, this is the story as has been reported over the years, and after the many years that I've been hearing the tale, it has changed very little. However, we question a few of the facts. We don't doubt them, but we believe that a couple could have been embellished a bit over time, but we're not dogmatic over that belief.
See, he's not dogmatic. Get it? I do appreciate him.
He could be a politician or like a good PR person.
He needed to land that line a little bit better. He really could have we're not going to be dogmatic about that. He just kind of flies by it, he doesn't even let it sit for a second.
It's almost like he wanted to, but then he's like, nah, I can't.
No,
he chickened out.
No, I wouldn't say that, because he mentions later that if you want to bring some levity to this case, don't bother. So that's why I think Elijah Henderson, I like you. We're not trying to believe me.
I really do like this guy. I do.
I do. I am at about 20% levity right now. Give me a break. I appreciate him not slipping it at 35. The end there. he didn't slip it at the end like a lot of shows would do. He put this right up front that there is no documentation of this event. Maybe there is a reason for that. We don't know, but at least going in the story, he prepped us for that. A lot of those shit documentaries, they'll wait to the very end and be like, oh, by the way, we have no idea of any of this ever happening. You know, he's right.
Or it's just like a little blip in the very beginning or at the very end, like a tiny little disclaimer at the end.
Well, even before when they mentioned like all the people that have told this story, there was even someone, an eyewitness, but unfortunately they're now deceased. So, you know, that's a little convenient that the only eyewitness just happens to also be deceased.
How come if they could have just gotten like a recording of the person's story, does that count as documentation?
Yeah.
Oh shit, they fucked up.
Sure. Look, there's the story. We'll have to judge for ourselves. It may or may not be a thing, as he would say. But we're now actually more than prepared to hear this story. We, like I said, folklore theories. We got all the caveats.
Oh, so ready.
Let's hear the tale already. And according to some, but not others, that's my little caveat, a well-to-do family arrived in the LBL Recreation Park in either late February or early March of 1982 in a very nice RV because they may have been rich. They were the only ones in the area at this time, or maybe there were others. It's not for us to say. Here is the series of events as they may or may not have arrived.
The family pulled in around 3 o'clock and backed into one of the slips set aside for RV parking, and from what we have been able to gather, the family chose the last slip on the furthest east side of the park, on the side nearest the ravine. Being as this was at a time of year before daylight savings time, the father went to work prepping the site for the evening because darkness would fall soon and the RV would need to be leveled. And although their recreational vehicle was one of the nicer available in 1982, it did not come with self-levelers, and it needed to be done manually.
I told you, this guy is thorough, you know, and I gotta say, I'm really surprised these rich folks, they're not springing for the self-leveling. That is a rookie mistake if you're going camping.
Actually, it's really not. Okay, here's what I had to say about being well-to-do, because I'm so good at being rich. I have so much money. The way you stay well-to-do is you don't spring for unnecessary things. You know where you need to put the money, what you need to splurge on, and what you don't need to splurge on.
Or maybe they don't want to have the appearance that they're so rich. They got to ruffle a little bit. They are going camping. We can leave the self-leveling off. Dad can do something.
For a story with no official record, there's like intense details about what this camper looks like.
And nearest the ravine.
His details have details. This guy is so... That's what I'm saying. He put everything into research. He researched the researchers. So this rich family consists of the following members, according to... I can't say, so I'm saying safe. Just listen.
The family consisted of 4 individuals, as the story goes. A father, a mother, a son somewhere around 1 to 12 years old, and a 9-year-old daughter. Some iterations of the story portray the daughter as much younger, and I cannot argue her age one way or the other, as I was not there.
Okay, let's be clear. He's not there, and the son is either 1 or 12.
Somewhere
or
between
maybe
there.
he's 10 also. Maybe he's 10 and then daughter's 10, and maybe they were twins.
And I'm going to go out on a limb, maybe not. I don't think a 1-year-old is any help leveling an RV. I've had 1-year-olds.
Yeah, that's...
I'm not pulling them out to help me level this thing.
There's such a huge difference between a 1-year-old and a 12-year-old also. Like,
but once you turn 3, you can totally help level
a 1-year-old is a toddler, dude. Like a 1-year-old
can't do shit.
Is in a crib.
So
this story would have some more details probably like about a crib or, you know, I don't know if it's a 1-year-old.
It must have been the daughter helping level the RV at that point.
Well, look, none of us are expert in RVs. We can't say one way or the other. I'm learning from him. We want to say
I can't
we don't know.
afford an RV.
We should have learned a long time ago.
We don't know.
Could be a person. It's a person anywhere from the age of 1 to 75.
Yeah.
So we know the family members now. We have the father and the mysterious aged son. They go outside. They're leveling this RV now for the very descriptive scene of the Dogman attack.
Dad and son were, as said a moment ago, were leveling the front when the creature that has become known as the Beast of LBL, a suspected Type 4 Dogman, came up presumably from down by the lake and through the neighboring hollow, and made its way around the left side of the vehicle on the driver's side and encountered the terrified duo. We can only speculate as to how the 2 victims might have reacted to the sight of the unnatural aberration standing right before them, like something out of a horror movie. I would imagine that they were almost paralyzed with fear as the werewolf-looking beast commenced to mangle and mutilate them.
Oh, not Maul. He could have gone for 3 M's.
The unnatural aberration.
And look, a Type 4 Dogman? This is why I need to interview this guy. I didn't know there were Dogmans, may or may not have different types. This is a Type 4?
Yeah. Type 4 must be the top one, because I don't think that there could possibly be a Type 5 based off of this description. Like, what happens?
I mean, you don't want to see a Type 5 Dogman. This is just a Type 4.
We'll save it for when we can get Elijah on. But now that Type 4 Dogman has arrived, it gets nasty.
The story states that Dad was the first to go, dispatched in a most ghastly way. Every version of the account that I have heard ends with Dad either being decapitated or having his head twisted around completely around backwards. The majority of versions state that the head was removed, as well as one or both of the arms. It is interesting that the Dad's head was allegedly removed, and dogmen are said to primarily remove the heads of their prey, at least according to some researchers in the field.
Yeah, see, Dogman always goes to the head, sometimes. That
at
is
least,
good.
According to some.
At least, maybe, according to some. But that is good info for a future tournament, I don't know, of Dogmen, monsters, aliens. Yeah, we got to know that.
True. I mean, and then, because I would say that decapitation makes a little bit more sense for a dog. And, like, if you're a kind of wild animal-ish cryptid, to kind of go for that kind of thing. I can't imagine, basically, a monster like that just twisting your neck and, like, you know, just doing, like, breaking your neck and moving on.
It just rips your arm right off. It reminded me, isn't Chewbacca kind of a Dogman? And isn't his thing ripping off arms? It's kind of a Chewbacca move.
Yeah, he rips off your arms, sure.
I guess doggish. I always thought more like a bear-ish. I don't know.
Chewbacca's not decapitating people, though. He's a Type 3 Dogman.
I mean, he'll rip your arm off, though. He will rip your arm off.
He will
That's all
do
I'm
that,
saying.
of course
and
he
beat
will.
you with
Of course
it.
he will. Yeah. But Dogman, of course, he is not done after tearing off Dad's head. There's more gore.
The creature, having mutilated Dad, now sets its awful sights on the son, who has fled for the door on the passenger side on the RV, seeking sanctuary from the certain death that even now was pursuing him. If the stories are true, the young man made it all the way to the door before the monster caught up to him and rent him to literal shreds, ending his young life.
To shreds. Man, this story is horrific. When I heard this part, it reminded me of a movie called Rawhead Rex. I don't know if you've ever seen that, where this kid, it's a really disturbing movie.
Explain why.
Oh,
there's a scene where this monster called Rawhead Rex has a child, and the parents see him from a distance, and he's like, it's gross. It's a messed up movie.
I guess tears him to shreds. He must have done that.
Because the kid was between 1 and 12.
The young man aged 2 has fled from the certain death. Ugh.
His variably young life was cut short that night.
His undeterminable young life was definitely ripped away from him at this point. But it gets even worse, because remember, there was a mom and a daughter, and they actually witnessed that son's murder. That's why it reminded me of Rawhead Rex. They witnessed inside the RV where they are.
The creature is said to have torn the door from the vehicle's hinges and gained entrance into the inside of the trailer, where mom and daughter have assumedly been preparing things for the evening. All accounts that have been given by supposed witnesses and police officers who are said to have worked the crime scene are all in agreement on this point, that Mom, for whatever reason, was savaged so badly that many of the crime scene hardened officers had to go outside and vomit.
God, look, I am going to go on a limb here, and this might get me in trouble because I'm not going to caveat this. This Dogman is a real jerk.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's a really risky stance to take, but I'm going to back you on that. I think that I will risk my reputation and say that this guy's a jerk.
I think Elijah would say that he's a ghastly, demonous bastard, this dog.
Possibly. Yeah, that's why I need him to write for me or vice versa, however it's going to work. But one of the reasons I really like this documentary, because the details, the stuff that he focuses on while he's researching this case are just things you wouldn't think of, like this.
One prevailing theory on why the beast noticed the family and the attacks happened rests on the belief that both the man and his wife were wearing heavy amounts of cologne and perfume, and I'm not sure how a person would know that unless it had come out of some kind of incident report. The mother is believed to have been wearing something similar in composition to Estee Lauder, and Dad is said to have been wearing something akin to canoe, both of which in 1982 might have contained actual musk.
So that was the blame. This is stuff I wouldn't think of. Though he's saying that the mother was wearing Estee Lauder. They don't have a lot of details. They know this, and the dad's probably wearing canoe, and they both have real musk, and that's gonna bring a Dogman every time.
I mean, for one, I've never heard of the fragrance canoe, but why would you want to smell like a canoe? Also, why were you slathering yourselves in it? If you're just going camping with your family, like who are you trying to
look?
Woo?
Okay. This is rich people, all right? When they go out there, they know everything out in nature stinks, and they want to smell good. They want to get that real musk. That dad's feeling so manly. He's got the canoe on. Mom's got Estee Lauder.
But that doesn't explain why it killed the kid, though. The kid had cologne on, too?
Well, you get thrown into a blind rage when you smell like really obnoxious perfumes and colognes. You don't want to just tear people.
That dad was hugging the kid. They were all the kids have it on. But he has science to back up his claim that the cologne and perfume were the reason that the Dogman attacked the rich family.
In 1982, it would not have been out of the ordinary for a man or woman to have slathered themselves in copious amounts of cologne or perfume, as it was sort of a prevailing custom of the day. It is theorized by alleged investigators and researchers that during the day, as the sun shines, the air temperature is heated, thus allowing the warmer air to rise. But as the sun began to set, the air would have cooled rather rapidly, allowing the colder air to sink onto the forest floor and create a sort of draft that would have drawn the air down through the hollers and down to the river's edge, carrying the irritating musky scents of the heavily applied cologne and perfumes, it garnering the attentions of the LBL beast, luring it up to where the hapless family was parked.
You see, he's got science with this. He's even in this. He has a graphic that shows the airflow going down, the air pressure going down, and the cold air going down, and this musky perfume. It goes right down to the little drawing of the Dogman. This family didn't have a chance.
It's science.
I love the drawing of the Dogman. He's just down at the water,
he's
just by the water side, and he's just like all of a sudden like, "What the fuck is that smell?" You know, what? I can't do this right now. I'm gonna go kill these people.
Somebody.
I gotta go kill these people.
Oh my god,
that's too musky for me right now.
I'll say this in the credits of this. He credits a website called www.calendar-12.com for added information on time period. And I believe that is where he got his info about perfume and its heavy use in 1982.
Oh, you mean as was the customs of their day?
That's where that's why he credited them. That he went to that site to figure out that people were just slathering on this. So he's researching even if people are putting perfume on. He wasn't around in 1982 to know. Plus they're rich.
They're slathering it on.
They're rich. It's safe to say. It is very safe to say that they may or may not, maybe are definitely wearing perfume.
Possibly.
For sure. So the Dogman is attacked. The family, for the most part, is dead. But shortly after, a couple is driving through the park and they discovered that father's decapitated body. They drive to the nearest town to inform law enforcement. And here's a little detail about how that may or may not have gone.
It is unknown how long it took to call law enforcement, as in 1982, 911 may not have been available. The 911 emergency number was created and put into use in 1968, but not all areas had it until much later. Tennessee, for instance, didn't start using the 911 emergency line until 1989. I would expect that Kentucky was probably in a similar time frame to Tennessee.
Yeah, they're about the same level of redneck. And I think, again, that I think he is referencing that calendar12.com again. That is a valuable resource in the Dogman investigation community.
No kidding. I think we're going to have to tap into that ourselves.
How would you know that 911 wasn't a thing? You have to check your sources. I've never heard anyone try to check their work like that. And that is deep Dogman digging right there.
Yeah, that's a great trivia question answer. Is like, what year did 911 start? 1968? I would never have known that. I feel like I learned something from this.
You know, I have learned shit in this episode.
Yeah, if you studied calendar12.com every day, just started studying, you would know so much stuff.
You're so ready for Jeopardy. But I have one little thing then, because, you know, he had mentioned that there was absolutely no documentation whatsoever, no police reports. I'm like, well, if there were police on the scene vomiting at this one lady's death and then this other lady making a police report. Where is that police report?
Look, this story, there's way too many details and things to research on this for this to be fake. I'm just gonna, this may or may not have happened, but it definitely may have happened.
You heard him when he brought up the cologne. He was like, this is such a minute detail that this must be from an incident report. Where else would it be from? It's got to be from an incident report.
We just don't have that incident report.
Yeah, it's just they lost it. I just can't find it.
This decapitated body stinks of canoe. This guy was wearing musk.
This is a decaying canoe right here. That's disgusting.
Maybe that's why they were throwing up. Maybe that's why the cops were throwing up, because of the musk.
This is Estee Lauder. Oh, God.
This is not the time for levity.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
No, I'm talking to Rob. You're doing fine.
Oh.
But the police arrive at the RV crime scene, and the daughter's body is not there. So they begin to search for her in the hopes that she survived. But while searching, one of the officers notices that his partner has blood on his shirt. His partner inquires about it, and then this happens.
The one with the red splotch began to feel his hat being pelted with a steady drip, drip, drip of something like red rain falling upon said hat. Both officers shine their flashlights up into the tree by which they are standing, and their eyes fall upon a grisly sight that will haunt them both for the rest of their lives and cause their hair to become prematurely gray if the story is true. Up in the crook, or the Y of the tree, is the mauled and partially devoured body of the missing girl.
See, there is so much detail to this. The guys are going great early, drip, drip, drip. Something had to happen. Who makes all this stuff up?
A screenplay writer. I mean, an eyewitness.
Well, hold on. He may be a great writer, but he is just an investigator who has great writing skill. He didn't make this up.
I don't think he
discovered this.
He discovered an excellent screenplay. That was somebody wrote.
This is no. This had to happen, man. And even those officers, hey, I can relate. Going prematurely gray. I never saw what these guys did, but I'm with you.
Drea might be getting it confused with the film The Howling, I think, possibly. She might be.
You know what? Yeah.
That's probably what she's thinking.
You're right. I feel stupid.
Yeah.
Shit.
You should, because earlier he mentioned The Howling was a book that was adapted into a movie. He made that very clear. He's very detail-oriented.
Yeah.
Back to this. So, after the police arrive on the scene, then the government steps in and the military, and they take over the investigation. And the only reason that the locals know about any of this at all is because the policemen themselves, they relayed the story to a friend at a convenience store after they were relieved from the crime scene. So the military and government took over, and they're like, local cops, you get out of here. You guys don't even have 911. I know we're in Kentucky. You guys might as well be living in Tennessee. But here's what happens. Here's what happens when the military arrived on the scene.
They sealed off the entire area and called for a special detachment of soldiers from Fort Campbell, Kentucky, who were said to have come in and made a skirmish line through the forest and tracked the beast to a cave located just south from the site of the massacre. The soldiers are said to have slain the gargantuan beast, which they say was so large that it had to be hauled out on a flatbed military truck. Estimates claim this monster was about 12 feet tall.
See, now this is getting good. You got soldiers fighting a giant cryptid and it's 12 feet tall. Man, that is a huge, huge dog, man. 12 feet?
I would watch this movie.
That's a huge
This isn't a movie. This happened, man. We don't want to see. That is huge. And
it's based on but this movie's based on a true events.
I do want to see. Yeah, The Howling has nothing to do with soldiers fighting monsters in a cave. A 12-foot dog, man.
You know what happened when those soldiers showed up? It probably sounded like...
Holy cow, that was no buck and rut.
I was hoping it would sound more like that when that one guy runs in screaming, firing shots at the... Was that
you want to like a Kentucky Goblins kind of scene. Yeah, Rob can get that when that one dude is just like...
And that's both the soldiers and the Dogman.
I mean, that's probably what it sounded like. It was probably just like a battle going down.
I hope. I mean, allegedly it may have been, or it may not have been.
And this kind of stuff, it can allegedly either not or may not have gone down, and people are going to talk about it. But Elijah, our guy, he is not too keen on this whole idea of a 12-foot dog man. And with a little help from calendar12.com, he may or may not be able to debunk that claim.
But I would have to decry that estimate because it had supposedly forced its way into the RV to kill the mother. But here's where I have trouble with these estimates. RV doors in the 80s, when this crime took place, measured either 26 inches by 70 inches or 24 inches by 72 inches, and either one of those sizes would have been far too small to allow for a creature that size.
Yeah, see, I respect him for his fact-checking, and
I do like his analysis. I had to point out that I can't think of a single RV that would be able to be 12 feet high, like doors.
Look, he's not like us. This guy is not fact-checking. He is making sure that he's like, hold on, 12-foot Dogman, let me go to my favorite site. How big were RV doors in 1982? Not happening.
They started off 12 feet, but then they got smaller now in the 2020s.
No.
He sounds like he's trying to sell us an RV right now. He sounds
Dude,
like,
I want one.
Like, this one's got 24-inch doors.
I want all those specs.
He's not even done with this RV door science. Let's hear.
Now, I am 5'8", and my shoulder width is 20 inches or 21 inches, and my dad is 5'9".
Can't be sure.
And his is 20 inches or 21 inches wide at the shoulder. So we're just a bit under 6 foot, or less than half the supposed size of the creature. If at just under half its size, I am 20 inches wide, then logically at 12 feet, it should at minimum double my width, making it 40 plus inches wide at the door. And a creature 12 foot by 40 plus inches wide, there's no way it would have fit inside that trailer.
Yeah, guess what? I'm sold. Dogman is no way 12 foot tall and 41 feet wide. Gee, that's insane. That's just stupid. He would never get in that door.
No, and I do love, too, how he had to throw, like, look, I'm just under 6 feet. Seriously. He could have just said, like, look, I'm just under 6 feet tall, and so is my dad.
All right, that's my one thing. Okay, 5'9", you're not just under
Sorry.
6 foot.
No, he said 5'8". That's like...
His dad was 5'9". He brought his
5'9".
dad into it.
Number one, why did he bring his dad up out of nowhere? His dad had zero relevance.
Taller.
Him and his dad are literally the same size, just about, and he brought him up for no reason.
It proves that he's 5'8", his dad's 5'9". He's gonna get that extra inch. He's gonna be the same as his
They're
dad.
gonna get there.
I feel like he didn't need to mention his dad, but whatever.
Man, you just could be extra thorough.
His description of this thing, it reminds me of, you remember from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Revenge of the Ooze, Toka and Razor, the giant wolf.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
like
actually I do, now that you've brought I never would have thought of that.
12 feet tall, and it's just, I don't know. That's a huge wolf. Have we ever heard of a Dogman that was 12 feet tall before?
No, and he just debunked it with the help of a little internet searching.
Yeah, because I mean, I would find it a little bit more likely for there to be some kind of murderous dogman out in the woods, just infesting the woods, breaking into an RV. But the whatever reports, I don't know who, it has to be embellished over time that it's 12 feet tall. That's crazy.
He says it may have not been. He covered that base, but
yeah,
after going into great detail about where the incident may or may not have occurred, they pinpoint what they believe is the actual campsite. He goes out there and he films in this area. Very brave to go there. And I'll say this is another thing I respected about him. There was a couple of moments where he is speaking to the camera while he is in the LBL, and the audio is bad, and a little notice comes up and says, yeah, I know my audio mic is broken, and then it's only one sense of bad audio, goes on to good audio, another good addition that he does.
Covers his tracks, man. He covers everything.
It reminded me of the guy who did the Chocolate Rain video when he would move his head away from the mic, and it said move his head away
to breathe.
Moves away from mic to breathe. Yeah,
I mean that's what I do every time I do this podcast. I'm constantly moving away just to breathe.
He didn't need to put that detail in there. It's just it's wind, dude. It's wind.
Whoa. If details exist, Elijah's letting us know, and I like that. And so he actually finally figures out where the actual place is located, but for obvious reasons, they do not give the exact location, and that's fine, because it might not be smart to advertise where this actually happened. But later, he does go into other Dogman tales from the LBL, because in 1973, there was a group of college kids, and they are chased in their Volkswagen bus, look, heads up, Blue Box UFO, by a large bipedal Dogman type unknown monster. And also, in 1978, a woman named Jan Thompson and her cousins, they are chased by a similar creature. And here's a portion of the retelling of that incident from Jan Thompson, told by our host, Elijah Henderson.
At first, it appeared to be a very large wolf emerging from the dark outline of the trees, but as it approached the one-lane road that connected to the driveway, its height grew to a towering shadow that stood on two legs. much taller than a man's height, maybe by a foot, and with the sun gone down behind the clouds, it only cast a silhouette of blackness. Hairy blackness. My mouth dropped wide as well as my eyes. This was not happening. This was not what I was seeing. My mind was going back and forth from rationality to reality. I was from St. Louis. The most frightening thing back home in Missouri was Momo the monster, the Show Me State's version of Bigfoot. This was no Bigfoot.
Yeah, see, this thing is no Momo, it's no Bigfoot, and we also get a little confirmation because he is retelling a story from a woman named Jan Thompson. It is not 12 feet tall either. It's ridiculous.
It's only a foot taller than what a man's height is, which could be 5'8".
He does this thing where he just mentions someone's name or puts their name on the screen, and like that's supposed to make us believe that they're a real person or that any of this is true just because their name is on the screen. We never see these people. We never see anybody.
Okay, hold on. It's because Jan Thompson is actually a cryptid investigator herself. She's retold this story. He didn't want to go over it too much, but he felt it was important because it happened in this area, the LBL, and this dude is nothing but thorough. And you guys probably tell already. I really like this guy because I haven't even put him on the soundboard once. That's very rare for me. Yeah, but I do have this one. Play soundboard 1. This is to remember him by, maybe.
Hairy blackness.
I don't know why.
Oh man, and you got to make it longer. You got to take the sentence before it because it reminds me of like we're gathered here. Something about was it love, marriage, sweet marriage. It's just like you need that repetition in there.
The only one that even got close was drip, drip, drip. But
that was. I thought you were gonna get that one for sure.
I like him. I'm trying to keep him off.
Blackness,
it's funny, the better
hairy
time.
blackness.
Hairy blackness. You know, you don't want that coming at you in the dark in the woods. Just a big old hairy blackness coming.
Yeah, I don't want most things coming at me in the dark
terrifying.
in the woods. Yeah.
No, this story of Jan Thompson, this is really terrifying. She's a young girl, and her and she's staying with her cousins out in the LBL. Her brother or cousin is out on a dirt bike. He comes back, he's freaking out. He brings them all in the house. That's when they see the hairy blackness come out of the woods. But Jan Thompson, her story concludes with her and her cousins. They barricade themselves in their aunt's bedroom because their aunt is not there. She is shopping. So they go in the aunt's bedroom. They barricade themselves with knives to defend themselves. And then the creature breaks a window. He's trying to enter the house, but he gets scared off by the aunt returning from the store and honking the horn because she wants the kids to come out and get the groceries. And this actually saves them. That Dogman freaks out when he hears that horn. Here are Jan's final thoughts on that incident from 1978 from Elijah.
Maybe some of the stories passed along the years have been added to, stretched a bit, like all local folklore and first-hand stories are over time. My story wasn't an urban tale, though. It was a first-hand account of something I really and truly do not want to believe in, and wish I could forget, erase from my memory, because the nightmares remain real, even though the events are still unexplainable by the laws of science as we know it.
See, this one was no rumor or urban legend. This actually happened to her. It's a first-hand account from a woman who was still investigating stuff, Jan Thompson. A very convincing Dogman story in the LBL.
Yeah. No, this one, it actually was riveting at this point, because I was, when I was watching this, I like to have them up in the background, and then if I hear something particularly interesting, I'll go back and replay it, and that's what I had to do here. And I was like, I stopped what I was doing to listen to it. It was actually, it was pretty creepy. Yeah. The gash marks and everything.
He brings it up, and he's trying to just do an overview, kind of we are, of just a little area, and his thing is perfect for this. But yeah, go check out her stuff if you're interested in this Dogman of the LBL. But there's even more accounts from the LBL. How many times am I going to say LBL? Here are some rapid-fire Dogman incidents.
1979. A couple of campers are allegedly killed by a massive wolf-like creature with facial features similar to a hyena as a witness helplessly watches. 1982. A family of 4 is reportedly killed by a massive wolf creature. 1984. A couple is terrified by a bipedal wolf beast at Hotel California. 1991. A family on a campout is attacked and pursued by a creature described as a werewolf.
All right, I promise I'm going to get back into that Hotel California. But that is a lot of Dogman, Wolfman stuff for one area, just the claims. It just keeps going on.
Yeah, I mean, they're infested. Like we said, that you can't...
These are the Dogman. this place is kind of terrifying. And the sightings, they persist. Because why would he be making this video? Because even in the 2000s and present day, we're still hearing Dogman from this area.
2002, 3 men camping are attacked and chased by an upright canine that is said to look like a werewolf. The creature starts out on 2 legs and gives chase on 4 legs. Another incident in 2002. A bow hunter's death is tied to the Beast of LBL. 2016. A camper sees a bipedal wolf in his camping area. 2017. 2 more campers are alleged to come up missing under mysterious circumstances. 2019. We ourselves had a run-in with something of a frightening nature, and you can hear all about that in our Dark Hollow Nightmare Nugget video.
All right, even he's getting in the action. I'm going to use this time. I never plug anything. I'm going to plug his video, his Nightmare Nugget. Go check it out on his channel.
Do you have to pay
Studies,
extra for nugget sauce?
The
Nightmare
Cryptid
sauce?
Studies Institute, CSI. Let him know he's doing a very nice job with his Dogman nuggets. So I won't play that nugget. I'll let you go. You got to go hear that one for yourself because he's got his own incidents happening to him. But that's a lot of them. Did you even hear the one of a bow hunter? A bow hunter. We've talked about a bow hunter before with Pigman. What did that bow hunter say?
Everything dies.
Oh man, that's one of my favorite clips. Even though he's so
even
creepy.
bow hunters out there getting it. And I will say this: I'll do another little plug if I'm gonna plug him. But me and Rob have been playing some Bigfoot game on Twitch recently, where him and I are hunting the Bigfoot. And this story reminds me out of it because we have an RV. We've gotten murdered in our RV.
Yeah.
Even at one point. At one point, they bring up a sawmill in the story. There's a sawmill on that map. I think that Bigfoot game is based off of this Dogman area because we are getting murdered like there's Dogman everywhere. It's crazy.
It's definitely giving me flashbacks of what I've been dealing with.
Well, yeah, and the reason you brought that up is because Russ keeps playing that clip every time that you die, right, Rob?
Yeah, he plays that clip a lot. I would like it if he attacked Bigfoot rather than playing the clip.
I'm trying to play it when I shoot the Bigfoot because when Pigman says
everything dies,
he usually kills. So I'm hoping it's going to help me save you. But we're nearing the end here, and I want to play this little bit about Elijah's trip to the LBL park, the one he talked about. And this may or may not be a scathing indictment on the rangers that are running the LBL park.
We went back in the spring or summer, and I asked the park official if they wanted to know where I was going, and they said, no, just go find you an area and set up camp. Think of that for a moment. That gives the park plausible deniability. If God forbid something did happen to you, and you came up missing, all they would have to say is, he bought a permit online and I don't know if he ever showed up or came and left. We don't have a record.
Yeah, wait, are the park rangers complicit in all this? What's going on in this place? What's really going on, man? This is on the next level.
I don't know what's really going on, man, but let's talk about this. I don't think that the park ranger was being like dismissive of their safety. I think that they probably thought that they were worried, like, hey, is there some place that we shouldn't be? Like, are you guys going to be like worried about where we're going? Like, no, you're fine. You're good.
It also sounds like possibly nobody ever comes to this camp and they're just like, dude, just like go wherever you want. Like, whatever. Yeah. We're just glad you're here.
Thinking,
like, go have fun.
Exactly. Whatever. Like, yeah. Oh, yeah. Make yourselves at home. Find a spot. You're good. You're good. Whereas if you're worried about your safety and you want somebody to know your whereabouts, maybe that's when you tell them, like, hey, just for my own safety, here's where we're going to be.
Yeah. Oh, he wants people. No. He wants them to know that he's there. That's why I think he was surprised, because I know for a fact I saw some of the things. I know he brings a dog whistle there, and he's like, I usually use this for Bigfoot, but I'm going to use it for Dogman. And he heard responses. So if this guy's staying there, and he already knows where the other people got murdered, he's probably spraying canoe on stuff, trying to trap it. So he knows if something happens, he wants people to know that he's there. He doesn't want to just
That drove me
disappear,
crazy. That scene drove me crazy where he's down on the side of the water and he's talking about how they had a dog whistle and he's like, we've had really good luck with Bigfoot with the dog whistle. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, what does that even mean? Like, if you've had you must have caught Bigfoot or at least got some great pictures or something. Yeah, like, but no, we don't ever see any of that. He just says that they've gotten really good results and that when they used a dog whistle across the water, they heard barking and they don't know what it was.
What was that?
They don't know
it couldn't be dogs.
Could have been anything.
when he is using that dog whistle for Bigfoot, I am sure it means that he's doing it at night and he's getting responses. Okay, he might not have the great evidence that you need, but you may or may not need it, and he may or may not have done it, and that's all that matters. Or maybe it does matter, or it doesn't. But it's time to conclude this fascinating and in-depth look at the Beast of the LBL. Here, Elijah sends us out the way he guided us through this whole adventure, with class.
When I hear of the Beast of LBL, for some strange reason, it makes me think of a line from the William Butler Yeats poem, The Second Coming, that says, "What rough beast, its hour come round at last, slouches toward Bethlehem to be born." While LBL is hardly Bethlehem, I would implore you, friends, should you decide to brave the backcountry at Land Between the Lakes, and you happen to hear the terrible howls emanating in the night, because out of the darkness they can begin, or you hear deep, guttural growls issuing forth out of the forest, do not linger, flee, get to safety as quick as you can, because the bloodthirsty Beast of LBL may be slouching toward you to make you its next meal. Until next time, I'm Elijah Henderson with Cryptid Studies Institute, signing off.
Bye, brave man. So that is very poetic and some very solid advice at the end there. Very well done. Bravo on this documentary.
Yeah. Bravo on your research and bravo on
Great.
your integrity as an investigator. Great. I will say that.
A lot. And that actually concludes the story of the Dogman Beast of the LBL. I got to ask you, Drea Mora, what did you think of the Dogman?
Of the Dogman, I am way more terrified now because this, I don't think it's the same Dogman from like Michigan and Wisconsin, but
I'll say the old Dogman. All we knew about was he's eating roadkill. Do you eat roadkill? He was running around just scaring people.
Anyway. And you can see from a bus, and he's jacked up like Arnold. But this is like now knowing that he actually murders people. If allegedly, I'm still, I'm a lot more scared of going into the woods in Kentucky or the land between lakes.
You saying you may or may not be terrified?
I cannot. I can't confirm or deny that.
You don't know these people anything.
We don't know.
What about you, Rob? What do you think about? You just let it out now, Mr. Skeptic. What do you think about? What do you think
Elijah's? He's got an endearing personality about him. He reminds me a little bit of like Porky Pig without the stutter. I don't know though. Like Dogman is really. I don't know if I believe in Dogman that much because I feel like a lot of these things could be just like a wolf. A lot of these situations could just be a big wolf.
They do stand up on two legs a lot.
They stand up, but a wolf when it attacks, it jumps. You know what I mean? Like
it may or may not.
I don't know.
Sources report we cannot confirm.
At the same time, though,
dogs stand on their hind legs.
I will also say, though, this is Kentucky. We know Kentucky, weird things do happen in Kentucky. There's goblins in Kentucky. So maybe there's some sort of like interdimensional,
oh shit,
vortex,
maybe it was monkeys, you guys.
Or portal. Maybe it's monkeys.
Fuck.
It could have been monkeys, could be tigers.
It could be vicious monkeys or could be tigers.
Again, I'll say, if you want more, please go check out the Cryptid Studies Institute, that's CSI to me, and Elijah Henderson. He's doing good work. I want to help support this guy. But before we go, though, I promised I was going to talk about Hotel California. Because strangely enough, this area isn't just known for Wolfman, Dogman, jacked up like Arnold or John Candy's. There is also just play soundboard 2 because this area is also known for this.
Oh no, vampire rods.
Yes, vampire rods. Yes, what? In an unbelievable coincidence, this area is known for vampire rods, and one vampire rod in particular, a man named Rod Farrell, who was the leader of a Kentucky vampire cult. I swear to God, vampire rod.
How did you find this out?
This vampire cult is located in the LBL. It was, at least. And at the top of the steep, overgrown trail, there is a captivating view of Kentucky Lake, but the image is marred by a concrete skeleton of a building that they call Vampire Hotel or Hotel California. No one seems to know who built this structure in the land between the lakes. Now, though, the ruins are a magnet for cultists who use its seclusion after dark to hold rituals. So here's the story on this place. Rod Farrell had a teenage vampire cult, and they would frequent this place, this abandoned place called Hotel California, or whatever, Hotel Vampire Hotel. And they would hold blood rituals there. This cult, Rod Farrell and this cult, they got deadly serious, though. Rod traveled to Florida with his followers, and he killed the parents of one of the female cult members. And he was caught later on in Baton Rouge because they wanted to go see an arcade in New Orleans. I don't know why. I lived in New Orleans when this happened. They were at some arcade there. He was caught. He is now serving life in prison. I'm not going to say much more about this. It's a very disturbing case, and maybe one that our friends Brendan and Weebs want to go take over at Serial Spirits. Go look into the Kentucky vampire cult. Rod Farrell, just have us on for it. But I will say, Rod Farrell, that is my least favorite Rod of all time now. On the scale of rods, rock bottom.
Rod bottom.
So what do you think of that? This forest is not only known for werewolves, but vampires, too. Vampires that actually murder people, and a dogman that murders people.
Well, I mean, obviously I'm not a fan of that. I don't like that happens. I'm just still confused about why is that place called Hotel California? Because of the whole, you're immortal now because you got your blood sucked by some weird teenage cult?
You know why it's called Hotel California? Because you can check in anytime you want, but you can never leave. That's why it's called Hotel California.
Sure.
You may or may not be able to leave. Maybe you could, but you probably don't want to. A lot of murder going on. There is so much evil stuff going on in this area, this LBL. And my final question, Drea, would you actually brave a trip to this place, the LBL area?
Oh, yeah, for sure. As long as I have a really, sweet RV. Yeah.
What about you, Rob?
Hell yeah. I love checking out weird abandoned places.
Honestly, yeah. Hey, I say we should do it. We should all go and make a trip out there in a really sweet, glamped out RV.
That whole place reminded me of the Montauk Project. That's what it looks like when I go out and I go exploring out there. So
no one's getting murdered by vampire teenagers and Dogman at there.
You're sure as
hell
hell not getting murdered out there. That's for damn sure.
Hey,
I may or may not ever be going in that place. I perhaps might never get near it. But let's get out of here now. That was it. I hope you guys all enjoyed The Beast of LBL.
Summer morning in early June is when the legend began.
There's no other better ever Dogman songs than from the original Dogman episodes. That Steve guy making those. I love the original Dogman song. Yeah, it was great to play it again. This is the first time we've ever talked about a Dogman. We talked about Pigman, all kind of different men. Yeah, Monkey Man, all kind of stuff, but never Dogman.
The Grunch wasn't like a Dogman? The Grunch?
Yeah, they kind of like to be kind of like a secret, so we don't know.
Yeah, you're right. It was more of like a secret.
Oh, man, Elijah would not be able to handle that. He does not want.
No.
He needs facts on facts.
He needs more details.
You know, they like to be kind of like a secret.
Yeah, that's not going to swing. We need details on details. It was a lot of fun doing this. It's great to get into a cryptid that we haven't talked about in a long time. And Beast of LBL, man, that's the scariest murderous Dogman there could be. I don't know what could be worse as far as cryptids go.
I mean, yeah, I think this is the most murderous thing that we've talked about on this podcast, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't
pretty
think
gruesome.
I can't think of any other cryptids that have actually killed people.
No.
So, you know,
that we've heard stories of like that. Yeah.
What do you do with Dogman? Even if you catch him, do you put him in prison?
You don't go there.
How do you deal with
him?
No,
you probably kill him, dude.
Yeah, you kill him.
You kill him back.
On a giant flatbed truck, and you take him out of there because that's what they take the
That's
military.
What the U.S.
into this.
military did.
Oh,
you know
stuff.
I wonder if you could just call like the dog catcher or like somebody like
that.
Oh,
sure.
Oh yeah, if you want to
call a dog
murder
catcher for a 12-foot dog. You can do that.
Look, I'm going to go check calendar12.com and dog catchers in 1982. Yes, in 1982, they were equipped with nets That's it.
Yeah,
They
and
didn't
how
even
much
have-
did they get paid? I don't think you could pay anybody enough to take care of a dogman of this stature.
They may or may not have made just about minimum wage. So we're going to go on now. We're out of the Dogman. Let's talk about, we didn't do it last week. Let's get into Unbelievers voice mailbag.
The Unbelievers mailbag.
Ooh, right in the mailbag.
Hey man, check your mailbox.
Hey, you got some new mail over here.
What's up, bitches? It's mail time. Woo! Woo! Woo!
Yeah, we were very happy last week to just play that great song from Unbeliever Bach Holiday. We're gonna have to play it again. An unbelievable addition to the music involving Unbelievable and Unbelievers podcast. We really appreciate it. But we're going back to the mailbag, the voice mailbag, and please leave us some voicemails. The number is 469-420-0114. Leave us some fun voicemails. We got a few. I asked people, put the number in your phone. When it's late and you get drunk, I don't know, call us. So let's hear the first voicemail.
Hello? Listen, I got 130.
Okay, well this is I don't know. He says he's got 137 something. This was a series of voicemails sent in succession. Play number 2.
Hello. Hi. I have gotten 137 flu shots. I'm feeling okay, but yeah. All right. Just call me back. Okay. Bye.
Okay. All right, call him back. So he's got 137. He's got 137 flu shots.
Yeah, he sounds like it.
It's a lot of flu shots.
It was probably one of those syringes that have like a shot of alcohol you get poured in your mouth.
Yeah, it sounds like he's taking some other kind of shots. That's what I was just thinking too.
I mean, either way, fucking kudos. That's impressive.
Hey, look, I love the voicemail. You see where the bar is. Send us more. We need more, more,
it's a
more.
real high.
What's going on? Well, he was able, even through his 137 flu shots, he was able to manage one more call a few seconds later.
Listen, if rollerblading is illegal, then I don't want to be illegal, all right? All right.
Okay, thank you.
Wait,
So,
if what's illegal?
Well, if rollerblading isn't going to be legal, he doesn't want to be legal. And
no, you're fine. It's legal.
I think
And
the flu
you're
shots are
still
working
legal.
out great. Everyone's coming out fine. The calls prove it.
Oh man, if flu shots are gonna make you rollerblade better, I wonder if they can make you do other things better too. Like
I love it. Thank you for calling. Give us more of that, please. But we do have one more, and this one's a little longer one. Let's hear the final voice mailbag.
Hey guys, it's Corrupted Mask again, and once again I've got the day off of work, and I'm stressing out a lot about school because it's looking a lot more intimidating than I originally thought it was going to be. But even more frustrating than that is I went back to the store today to turn a movie back into Redbox, and I missed a golden opportunity to finally play that prank on my coworker that I mentioned the last time I called in. He's not my buddy, by the way. I think the guy's a jerk. But anyway, yeah. What I have been doing is, since the guy is a conspiracy nut, I have been gaslighting him into thinking that I'm a reptilian. And today I was going to culminate that by going in with a pair of lizard eye contact lenses under my shade and just stare him. But damn it, I just missed that opportunity. So now I'm going to sit back and catch up on episodes of the show that I've been putting off listening to. So yeah, bye.
Well, I'm going to go out on a limb and say he hasn't really missed that opportunity. I mean, unless if you can find out where he lives, you can just stand in front of his house for a few minutes every day.
I love the saga because he called in on the first session and was ready to. He's like gaslighting his conspiracy theory coworker. He's gonna go through with it, but he's keeping us posted. I love it. Keep us up with stuff.
He's not friends with this guy either. Okay, he doesn't like this guy.
Jerk. The guy's a jerk.
I love that. That was a great detail.
He probably deserves this gaslighting 100%. I'm fully behind it.
Oh, that
I
was
do
awesome.
love it. And you can tell he doesn't have 137 flu shots in him. And that's it. Give us a call. Once again, what is it? 469-420-0114. Call that voicemail, because that's it for this week's Unbelievers Voice Mailbag.
The Unbelievers mailbag.
Ooh, right in the mailbag.
Hey, man, check your mailbox.
Hey, you got some new mail over here.
Sup, bitches? It's mail time. Woo! Woo! Woo!
I love the voicemail. I mean, this is a great addition so far. Even if we only get a few, I love hearing them come in. We want to hear more. There's one more thing before we go, and that is, of course, everyone's favorite Hear From You segment, poll results. I think I left my body for introing that. I don't know what the hell that was about. All right, this week's poll. What's the sexiest thing in the paranormal? And the choices were Bridge E.T. or Bridget, LaRusha Howe, Zach Baggins, Leonard the Bigfoot, Lolita Young, and of course other. I'm going to ask you, Drea Mora, what do you think the Unbelievers said?
I think they're going to go for Leonard.
All right, how about you, Rob Okey?
Definitely Leonard with his tennis ball dick.
Yeah. We're all in agreement? All right, well, congratulations. Congratulations, though. Tied for first place with 5.56% of the vote. Tied with Zach Baggins, Leonard the Bigfoot.
Oh, boy.
He is the sexiest thing in the paranormal. Him and Zach Baggins. I'm shipping it.
Oh.
And of course, there are others. What's the sexiest thing in the paranormal? Beavis and Butthead 69ing. Signed, Phoebe Pirelli tires. Okay. How much? Beavis and Butthead 69ing. That is the sexiest thing in the paranormal. Thank you, Phoebe Pirelli tires. What's the sexiest thing in the paranormal? I just took JC's advice and got 137 flu shots. They were free and I feel great. Signed, Bono Yogurt. What the fuck? That was Bono Yogurt calling.
All right, mystery solved.
Finally.
Well, give us some JC.
The third guy's 10-star general in the war against media pornography.
All right, 137 flu shots can't be a coincidence. Great job, Bono Yogurt. Going in the lead early. See, you can enhance your poll results with a voicemail, and somehow that's going to work. What's the sexiest thing in the paranormal? Mothman and I played a game where we raced to ejaculate in a bowl. God damn it. This is from Unbeliever Friendly Weatherman. Oh, the Friendly Weatherman. All right, play him his clip. Get it out of the way.
We went to this room. There was this bowl on this table, and I was supposed to ejaculate into the bowl.
That's good stuff.
Yeah, it is. I wonder if this is Raymond rebranding, because he's Unbeliever Friendly. What?
Don't be afraid. I'm not going to hurt you. I'm the weatherman.
Yeah, the Unbeliever Friendly Weatherman. All right. I like it. New character. New rebranding. What's the sexiest thing in the paranormal? Brian Frangie. Just ask women. It's certainly not that floozy harlot Crescent. Signed, Crescent's bitter ex-lover, a.k.a. Voodoo. Whoa, Voodoo's been getting... Voodoo, you are Crescent's bitter ex-lover? Well, he says it's Brian Frangie saying...
Ask women.
Yeah. Oh, it's hard to hear the... It's so good to hear that again. We got a little Crescent for him too, maybe?
It was nice.
Oh, thank you. It's good to hear that it was nice. That's the reason it's there. So don't hear about ejaculating. What's the sexiest thing in the paranormal? The Loveland Frogman has the best ass. Signed, Jack Sash. Jack Sash. Thank you, Jack Sash. We haven't done Loveland Frogman yet. Maybe one of the shows will cover it.
Pouring his ass stuck out. I seen his ass.
Oh, there we go.
There you
That's
go.
what I'm talking about. What's the sexiest thing? Good one, Jack Sash. What's the sexiest thing in the paranormal? Rods will always be the sexiest. And that's the last question. This interview is over. Signed, Rod Lover 420. Whoa, that's a different Rod Lover. Look, Rod Lover 420 said rods are the sexiest, and
we just finished the interview. I think we're going to leave it at that.
Yeah, close enough. We knew what you meant, Rod Lover 420. New on the scene, loving it. What's the sexiest thing in the paranormal? I contracted a strain of the clap from Baggins that was circulating a local high school. What do you think that creep gets up to? Signed STD Man. Holy cow,
Ew.
STD Man. What are you talking about?
Oh, don't go to high schools.
He's in the high schools?
You didn't toot, did you? No. Did you smell it?
I don't think he gets the
Stay out of the
STDs
high
from that,
schools,
Rob.
man.
Yeah, we'll have a talk after the show. What's the sexiest thing in the paranormal? Come for Bigfoot 2, into this bowl. Signed, the Wombat Preservationist. Yay!
Okay.
And we got
colon.
it. Yeah, the colon
I'm
into
finding
this bowl.
Bigfoot, bitches.
Yo!
I can't believe that's a real person's voice.
And,
Sounds like a toy. It's
We went to this room. There was this bowl on this table, and I was supposed to ejaculate into the bowl.
Now, what does everyone pick? Look, if you're going to pick David Huggins after last week, that's very appropriate. Thank you. Thank you for the Comfort Bigfoot 2 reference. Good job, Wombat Preservationist. What's the sexiest thing in the paranormal? All rods and no tape make Ryle a dull boy. Signed, a week behind guy. Oh, okay. He just heard episode room 237. Good job, signed, a week behind guy. All rods and no tape make me a dull boy. Of course.
Russell Ryan. I said his name backwards.
Yeah, because there was no rods on that tape. Great one. Thanks again, a week behind guy. What's the sexiest thing in the paranormal? The Marilyn Monroe succubus. No, but you didn't sign off. And that, I guess that would be the sexiest thing.
Yeah. I'd be happy with that.
I mean, you didn't sign off, but it's great. What's the sexiest thing in the paranormal? Do you even have to ask? The question is clearly rods. Signed, the OG Rod Lover 69. Of course.
Oh, so there's multiple Rod Lovers.
There was Rod Lover 420 and now 69. Let's hear something.
Because there's rods on your tape.
Yeah, of course, for our OG Rod Lover 69. She's the best. What's the sexiest thing in the paranormal? My wife and I have committed to going full Aykroyd no matter who dies first. Signed, Madman. Oh, man. Good job, Madman. I think I have something for Aykroyd. We haven't heard this in a while. Oh, man, you got me out of my chair for that one. Thank you, Madman. What's the sexiest thing in the paranormal? Phoebe Tires, and you didn't sign off, but a great one.
Oh, my goodness.
What's the sexiest thing in the paranormal?
Maybe it was Phoebe.
Yeah, that's hard to argue. What's the sexiest thing? What's the hardest thing in the paranormal? That's a different poll.
The rod's done.
God damn it. What's the sexiest thing in the paranormal? You may have seen his ass, but Portia took it up the ass. Signed Russell's exploitive sound effect. Wait, hold on.
Wait, what?
That's not my fault. She was just
Finding Bigfoot, bitches.
All right, I didn't. My exploit. What do you want, a boing? We didn't put that. Yes. We're not hearing that again. That's not happening again.
Oh, man.
But I really like it. Thank you very much, Russell's exploitive sound effect. What's the sexiest thing in the paranormal? The rum tum tugger is a curious cat. But you didn't sign off. Maybe you signed off as rum tum tugger is a curious cat, but we get to hear it because rum. Thank you, David Huggins. And thank you, Rum Tum Tugger is a Curious Cat, the best of the David Huggins. And finally, the last one for this evening. What is the sexiest thing in the paranormal? Shout outs to everyone putting out Bigfoot smut during the pandemic. I'm gonna catch Bigfoot, bitches. Signed Blue Box UFO, who got a shout out earlier because we had our VW bus reference. He loves
I'm finding
them.
Bigfoot,
Last
bitches.
clip.
I'm finding Bigfoot, bitches.
All right, he gets a double take. Great one. So many good ones tonight. I'm going to go over them a little bit. We had Boner Yogurt with, I just took JC's advice and got 137 flu shots. They were free and I feel great. We had Phoebe Pirelli Tires with Beavis and Butthead 69ing. Unbeliever-friendly nice. Weatherman, new in the scene with Mothman, and I played a game where we raced to ejaculate in a bowl. We had Crescent's Bitter Ex-Lover, a.k.a. Voodoo, Brian Frangie, just ask women. It's certainly not that floozy Charlotte Crescent. We had had Jack Sash with the Loveland Frogman has the best ass, of course. We had Rod Lover 420 with Rods will always be the sexiest, and that's the last question. This interview is over. I like that one. He had that good clip in there. We had STD Man with I contracted a strain of the clap from Baggins that was circulating at a local high school. What do you think that creep gets up to? We had the Wombat Preservationist with Comfort Bigfoot 2, into this bowl. All right. We had signed a week behind guy, all rods and no take make Ryla dull boy. We had Rod Lover 69, the OG with Do You Ever Have to Ask? The answer is clearly rods. We had the Madman with My Wife and I Have Committed to Going Full Aykroyd no matter who dies first. We had Russell's exploitive sound effect with You May Have Seen His Ass, but Portia took it up the ass. God damn it. And you also had Blue Box UFO with shout outs to everyone putting out Bigfoot smut during the pandemic. I'm going to catch Bigfoot bitches. So many great ones tonight, but I am going to leave it up to me tonight because I rarely pick, and I'm going to do it this time, and I don't even know who I'm going to pick, but guess what? With Mothman and I played a game where we raced to ejaculate in a bowl. Congratulations, Unbeliever Friendly Weatherman. You just won this week's poll result.
That was a good pick, Russ. I stand behind that fully. I may or may not, but I don't want to go on to record as saying that I agree, but I agree.
Oh man, if we ever get Elijah Henderson on the show, I gotta make him pick poll results because everyone wins that week.
I'm pretty sure he's available. I'm pretty sure he's probably available.
We're getting
he would never be able to commit to. He wouldn't be able to commit to one. He'd be able to commit to a date to record, but yeah.
We'll follow him around. Okay, he's gonna be there. We'll find him. All right, we've come to the end of the program. Before we go, Drea Mora, do you have anything you would like to say or plug?
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at UnbelieverDrea and on Instagram at BestDreaMora. And, well, we're starting up a new podcast, and that's going to be at Paranormal Alcoholics for now. Spirits and Spirits. There's that.
All right, we're very excited for that. What about you, Rob Okey?
Check out our Twitch stream, twitch.tv/TheUnbelieversPodcast. And check out our Discord. If you want a link to the Discord, check out the description of this episode. We're doing movie nights in Discord. We're doing funny Friday night watch-alongs on Twitch. Me and Russ are playing Bigfoot on there. Drea's going to join us for some Bigfoot action.
Yeah.
We got some other games lined up that we're looking at to play. There's fun stuff coming up. So if you don't check out the Twitch, you're missing out on some fun stuff.
Yeah, I will say, I'll plug it too. Our little Twitch world is we're getting a little more comfortable doing it. We're watching some fun videos. We are playing the Bigfoot game. We got some other cryptid games coming down the pike that we're going to be playing on there. And Drea's going to have the Bigfoot game. She's going to get murdered like the rest of us.
Oh,
and I'm just
going
to plug the Cryptid Studies. I'm going to plug the Cryptid Studies Institute and Elijah Henderson again. Check them out. There's a new Nightmare Nugget coming just for you. The Unbelievers Podcast host today were Drea Mora and me, Rus Ryan. Our producer and soundboard engineer is Rob Okey. You can join our Patreon by going to patreon.com/UnbelieversPodcast. You can follow the show on Twitter at UnbelieversPod and Instagram at Unbelievers Podcast. Our Facebook group is the Unbelievable Podcast Network. Check out our That merch store at cavepress.com/UnbelieversPodcast. And thank you so much to all the great patrons: Robert Groom, Little BB, Dr. Hortega, Tyler Ventura, Adam Dvorak, Corrupted Mass, Michael Phillips, Weary Exile, Carol Valley, Manny MQ Ultra, CJP, Braden Hitch, Raymond Rowell, Todd X, Christopher Panici, The Moon, The Judgy, Moon, Mike Henry, Bryce, Cronenberger, Deluxe Jr., Don Bright, Shanna Ferrigno, Tom O'Connell, Mark Braun, Donna Vance, Jenna Stevens, Cat Chaos, and Jason Kelly, and Mike, Brian Ashton, Michael Armenta, Jack S., Robert Slavins, Wombat Preservationist, our official composer and theme song creator is Unbeliever A.A. Ron, a.k.a. Aaron Shilb. Follow him on Instagram at The Aaron Shilb. Our official graphic designer and card maker who designed our logo is Raven Rowell. Check out his work at P Raven Creative on Twitter and Project Raven Creative on Instagram. Our official Madman is Unbeliever Adam. Our official Mothman enthusiast is Michael Shields. Our official MUFON Inside Man is Chris De Moraes. Our official Unbeliever peacefully eating a hamburger is Michelle Durham. Our official Unbelievers time traveler is Taylor Nelson. Our official ghost hunter is Amelia Childs and Ghost Hunting in New England. Our official senior European correspondent is Kay Mill of the I Don't Know podcast. Our official Guardian of the Bench is Zach Kraken Stacker. Our official Alien Bopper is Nunchuck Bob. And this week's Unbeliever Focus is Adam Dvorak, who was planning a trip to the LBL recreation area. He is super into Dogman. He wants to get into it, but I think I scared him off. Once I told him about what's going on with Hotel California, all he had to say was,
Oh no, vampire ride.
good night.
When the vet finished up his examination, he said it looked like they died of fright. In 37, a schooner captain said several crew members had reported a pack of wild dogs roaming Bowers Harbor. His story was never recorded. In 57, a man of the cloth found claw marks on an old church door. The newspaper said they'd been made by a dog. He'd have had to stood 7'4". In 67, a van load of hippies told a park ranger named Quinlan they'd been awakened in the night by a scratch at the window. There was a dogman looking in and grinning.
Discontinue! Discontinue!